Undertaker doesn't smile. This car hasn't been pulled over for exceeding the speed limit.
I'm not done talking, asshole.
That's pretty funny, but how is the father ever going to get home with a destroyed car?
That Margaret Undertaker can bake her ass off.
Undertaker's mother is named Margaret.
Bruh, I can't wear this probably.
How do you know if you don't try?
I'll crack you in the face with a bag of frozen walnuts.
Because you're not Roman Reigns.
Here's the Seagoss.
That's so 5 minutes ago.
Even though I said it 10 seconds ago. I highly doubt the ferocity of R-Truth's jump in the pool would send both Bella Twins and Rusev out of it.
Homesickness. It can be transmitted through sex.
Homesickness can be transferred via sex, apparently. Nearly 10 seconds of Hunter groaning up an excuse. Big Show somehow hasn't crashed through the top bunk yet.
My parents were supposed to mail me more underwear. I've been using a sock.
How is that possible? This camp allows underage kids to drink. How is it still in business?
How could you be sad?
Child abuse. Rick thinks he's Charlie Sheen. Also, this bear hasn't filed a restraining order. Sex with a tire doesn't seem possible to me. We interrupt Camp WWE to bring you the best cry ever video. Also, 30 seconds of Rick crying. Roman Reigns is somehow not crushed to death. That's at least 3 concussions for Rusev. 33 seconds of watching Sergeant Slaughter do absolutely nothing. You mean to tell me that Vince has people up in helicopters all day, every day, holding up a giant cell on the very case that he would need it to be dropped?
Don't worry about John Cena. I'm going to hunt him down like a beautiful, hypoallergenic, sexy dog.
Most would be surprised that Vince McMahon just called John Cena sexy, but the other 95% of the WWE universe already knew about that.
Listen up! Your parents are dead.
The children believe this. Rick committed sexual assault.
I want to know how they died.
An 8-year-old apparently sounds like a 16-year-old.
That don't make no damn sense. I'm not buying it.
Truth, you're not supposed to send this. That's my job.
Well, your dad finally showed up. You know, right before he was killed.
Bree and Nikki actually believe that.
I'll get you, Cena.
What do you bet that Vince is going to do a similar thing to Roman in a future episode when he gets tired of John? Fucking what? A little boy swimming slowly can apparently outrun a speeding boat that should have caught up to him within 5 seconds. What?
How could they be more confused than they already are?
And how is anyone going to be able to access those cabins over there? Vince couldn't catch up to John in the speeding boat while John was swimming, but he could go flying past him when he trips over.
Are you okay?
My legs have betrayed me.
We interrupt Camp WWE to bring you the 2005 Royal Rumble match. Must be Sting's home.
Oh my gosh, do you smell that?
What?
You gotta be kidding me. Even the WWE has been reduced to fart jokes.
I never want to leave Camp WWE.
Even after Vince replaces you with Roman?
Sorry, Steph, I guess that beach house in Malibu counts as a home.
But didn't you sell that beach house in Malibu to Charlie Sheen? Nearly 1 minute of watching Sergeant Slaughter preparing for a bath.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Woo, now,
Woo! 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 Woo!
Let's be thankful this camp didn't take place during COVID-19 or else Steve Austin would be out of here.
Come on, Austin.
Nikki Bella has no patience. Steve can't prepare to throw the ball for 1 second before she complains.
Joke's on you, buddy. Saints are great.
Except for the Saints in New Orleans.
Man, this guy fucking sucks.
R-Truth playing the part of an internet troll hating on John Cena.
I didn't know they stack shit that high.
I love Full Metal Jacket as much as the next guy, but it doesn't work in this case, as John Cena is practically the same size as Steve Austin in the show. If you have a catchy theme music and a raised eyebrow and your name is The Rock, getting away with murder is easy.
I technically went to first base with The Rock.
What a whore.
I know you hit a delivery guy with your car.
R-Truth hasn't realized that he's in a cartoon show where logic is completely irrelevant. Also, The Rock clearly slapped R-Truth in the back, yet Truth massages his butt. Hey! Don't worry, Big Show. I hear over in Camp AEW, nobody's allowed to touch your food. The camp is literally run by a child. Considering nobody was trying to get Rock out, there was no reason for the baseball slide. Also, what happened to the pizza and hot dog Rock was carrying?
Quiet! Well, I take it.
Jesus, even in a cartoon camp show, The Rock still takes a long time to finish his sentences. It's like his promos in real life.
Theme song!
I'm starting to believe The Rock's theme is coming out of his ass.
Later, buddy!
Rock literally sped away for over 15 seconds before you said that. There's no way he heard you, ass kisser. Who invited Sweeney Todd into Camp WWE?
That actually makes it a hit and home run.
Fuck you. Here's something I forgot to address in the first episode. Why are Triple H and Stephanie McMahon teenagers while the rest of the wrestlers are children? Some of them are actually older than the Authority. Sorry, Vince, but your big entrance got ruined the moment you made an appearance through the door. Come on in. Vince is addicted to his daughter.
Mr. McMahon picked me!
Footage of John Cena being excited about being selected as the face of WWE accidentally made its way into the show. Laziness.
Like Penn without Teller.
This conversation about Penn and Teller and the reason they exist sadly goes on for quite some time.
I know.
Anyway, you're all in detention.
The Undertaker is in detention for getting hit in his dead men by the kickball.
That's my twirly side, damn it!
Steve Austin is fucking hilarious when he messes with Vince McMahon, even in cartoon form. The Rock's music is playing now, but not when he was walking away from Camp WWE moments ago. An eyebrow is required to balance your vision and know where you're going, apparently. The Rock wasn't able to kick a simple dodgeball, but somehow had enough strength to run and knock over Kevin Owens without a problem. That technically is showing a child's ass. The fuck's wrong with you, WWE? I won't lie, the saddest thing about the show is not everyone has speaking lines. Like, I'd love to hear the sides of Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Rusev, and even Becky Lynch instead of them being outcasts.
I'm nothing without my eyebrow!
So why are you going to Ric Flair?
Just watch me.
Skip!
I'm hemorrhaging money!
I don't think the absence of Rock's eyebrow is the reason you're losing a lot of money, Vince. Oops, did I say that too loud?
Can The Rock appear in the next Star Wars movie? No.
I mean, it's Disney, and Rock has done a lot of shit for Disney, so I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in a Star Wars movie or series.
Adult Entertainment Awards?
Say what?
God damn it, you got me laughing again.
This place is loaded with untapped talent.
That might be because you've been using the same talent over and over at your camp. I heard Triple H hopes to run a camp called Camp NXT. Highly doubt that'd work.
You do realize no one likes you.
Steve Austin must have been watching John Cena's appearances on ECW. First of all, who shut off the lights and how the hell did Steve Austin gain Batman abilities? This actually qualifies as being sexual toward minors.
Go that way, Cena. You come with me.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, that's a...
How could these two not hear the chandelier making noises behind them?
Hello, y'all. This here's Steve Austin's mama.
This also goes on for quite some time.
Don't do that. This guy right here.
Ric Flair promoting child abuse. What?
And if you bring a kid, you get drinks half off.
What? Also, more child abuse.
Just seems to come so easy for The Rock.
John Cena referred to The Rock becoming WWE champion in 2013 when he didn't do shit to deserve it.
What are you even flipping off? Oh, sorry, I got fuck you reflex.
Steve Austin removes another sin because he's honestly the best part of this entire series.
I thought you hear about the dead body in the kickball field.
You mean to tell me that Vince McMahon did nothing to even remove the dead pizza guy from the kickball field? One final minute of Vince running up his slide and sliding down. I get that this is actually Steve Austin with his middle finger out, but under the covers, this looks completely wrong.
Sir, may I have enough?
Sergeant Slaughter is in front of John Cena, so who the hell is throwing all that mud at him from the side?
Slaughter Squad.
I also get the dipshits.
Ah, that explains why CM Punk was immediately chosen to be part of Slaughter Squad before he quit Camp WWE.
I did get lost for 6 hours in a hailstorm after you sent me into the woods.
That actually sounds entertaining. Let's watch that instead of this.
Do it, Paige!
OMG!
Where the fuck did you come from? Also, am I the only one that noticed the red, white, and blue on Sergeant Slaughter's shirt conveniently matched the outfits of the Bella Twins and Paige's skin?
I sat front row at a Drake concert and didn't even have tickets.
Again, that actually sounds entertaining. Let's watch that instead of this.
I love kickball.
Even after The Rock knocked a kickball right in your dead men, Vince McMahon having exact replicas of him hiding underneath his blankets is a lot creepier than I imagined.
To control a camper, you must take control of their mind.
I used to be in Camp WWE myself, but then Vince stole my Hulu subscription and prevented any chance of me having one again. Ever since then, I stopped giving a shit about Hulu.
Sewing Big Show's name in John Cena's underpants.
Knowing John Cena, he'd just accept that.
Shrinking all of Stone Cold's socks.
if you really wanted to mess with Steve Austin, I would have taken away all of his beer. And plus, are you sure you want to mess with Steve Austin of all kids?
Basketball puss. Nope. Better go with another one.
I hope you're all ready, Team Steph.
Where the fuck did Stephanie McMahon get a bright pink boat?
And after we check into the hotel,
What? How?
we're gonna go see who can do the most cardio.
That actually sounds entertaining. Let's watch that instead of this. Also, how did The Rock's eyebrow regrow so fast? If it could come back that quickly, then what was the big hassle in the previous episode for?
You ready to have the week?
What?
Or being on a date with some chick?
Good thing I'm gay. I don't have to deal with that shit. What? If the boat was that easily breakable, how the hell did it not collapse under the weight of everyone in it?
The boat! I name everything that helps me.
So what did you name the WWE creative team?
Crooked photos.
I think Vince only did that to piss me off because he knows how much I hate pictures being crooked on the walls, just like in the Firefly Funhouse. You clever bastard.
Seems so unfair, though I can't equally torment the girls.
But what you can do is apparently teleport from the boys' room to the girls' room. What mystical abilities are you hiding from me? I would be concerned for Vince's well-being after being trapped underneath a bed and bowling balls, but I'm more interested in knowing how he magically stretched his body out in a single frame. This man is a sorcerer.
Dear Diary. Oh, shit.
Whoops, got left on pause again. Hat Cravens. Honestly, how could nobody see Jake the Snake Roberts over here? He's not exactly far away from them.
I want to have them put Mae Young through a table.
That sounds entertaining. Let's watch that instead of this. Oh wait, we can, on the WWE Network, except in the United States.
Diary, I'm weak.
Vince has no strength to move his body, but somehow was able to get his arms out.
I shouldn't have panicked and drank my own urine right away.
How did you even get access to your penis when you're completely trapped? And if you could do that, couldn't you easily get out? The entire existence of the staring contest between The Undertaker and a squirrel. Where the fuck did these outfits come from? Those candles would definitely be extinguished if they just came out of the water, you know. Also, this had to be a weird scene to have John Cena, Big Show, and Steve Austin go underwater with these items just to await Sergeant Slaughter's cue to rise up.
And show that chick there's more to life than Twitter.
Well, we're in the age where nobody in the WWE universe believes there's more to life than Twitter. Maybe the entire IWC could learn some Slaughter hacks.
Go, McMahon, metal arm!
Good thing this was a dream because I was about to lose my mind and stop sitting this show just from seeing Vince McMahon becoming an Inspector Gadget.
Go, McMahon, normal arms!
Looks like Gadget McMahon has glitches, just like in that shitty Disney sequel to a shitty live-action adaptation. No! That robot should be punished. You can't say the 11 or 13 bad words. Mr. Krabs said so.
I don't understand why I had to sleep naked too.
Good thing none of us saw that, but Steve Austin seriously told John Cena to strip naked and sleep with him? He might have more than a drinking problem, I think.
Where's the Undertaker?
Just like Sergeant Slaughter and myself, this entire episode actually forgot that the Undertaker was missing and hanging out in nature. Damn, Nature, you scary.
I'm Jake the Snake.
I won't lie, this episode has way too many subplots here. Vince McMahon stuck in a bunk bed, these kids dealing with nature, Undertaker having an epiphany about nature, Sergeant Slaughter being kidnapped by Jake Roberts, and Jake Roberts hanging out with the kids. I don't even know what the point of this is. That's gotta be the weakest tape ever if Sergeant Slaughter could easily spit it out. These wolves saving Vince is the biggest plot convenience I've ever seen in plot convenience history. Boy, how I wish I could do that to this episode, but sadly, I lack the wolf peeing ability, so fuck me. I'm just gonna start this off by saying this is an episode dedicated to John Cena trying to get Mark Henry to shit out his food like he's giving birth. And I'm just gonna throw in 100 sins because that is just fucking disgusting.
It's a special occasion.
Isn't friendship
Don't know, don't care.
Then why'd you ask, dickhead?
Oh.
Fat kids! Fat kids eat cake! Fat kids enjoy sweets! That's why they're fat! Are you not entertained?
Mark, maybe you should hold off on...
John Cena waits until Mark Henry's almost finished the cake before telling him to slow down. I think he did this on purpose to make him suffer. John Cena turned heel in animated form. I'm surprised Vince McMahon didn't show up and tell Stephanie, "Hey, you can't kick the children, damn it, that's my job!"
Stephanie.
Seriously, it took 4 whole episodes for Triple H to start eyeing Stephanie McMahon.
I was smitten by a woman I met at a noodle cart.
That actually sounds entertaining. Let's watch that instead of this.
I want to ask you something.
Stephanie McMahon somehow can't hear this.
You sound like an active volcano.
Ha! Get it? Because lava cake? No one? Wow, I thought I could at least make this funny. Fuck me. Sounds like me watching this episode.
You gonna be the food baby daddy.
I was about to say skip, but then I'd be skipping this entire episode. This lower door being open is a lot more perverted than you realize.
What do you want?
First, I want to know why you have 2 sets of doors, and then I want to know how you haven't gotten arrested for running this camp full of child abuse.
She wrote the Twilights. Did you know there are no pictures in those books?
Still sounds like a better story than Twilight. Wait.
I'm totally dropping that science on Trinity later.
Better be careful. You don't want Trinity walking out in a Mercedes for not liking you. Remember when The Rock was a big deal in the 2nd episode? Well, now he's reduced to just being a background extra. What the fuck? Also, whose bright idea was it for Mark Henry to hang out in the playground while constipated? It was probably John Cena.
Feeling any better?
Massaging a stomach full of food doesn't exactly make the pain go away, and if John is trying to get Mark to shit in public, he's a crazier psychopath than I first realized. Is nobody gonna realize Brie Bella is creepily watching this whole scene take place? And I'm not kidding, this doesn't do anything. All she does is stand and watch.
Mark Henry!
Thanks, I totally thought his name was Mark Wahlberg.
Let's watch movies all afternoon!
Shrek
3!
Or we could just watch the first 2 Shrek movies and forget the other 2 ever existed. I mean, that's what I'd do.
It's the perfect plan.
And this plan somehow requires Sergeant Slaughter to be present.
So I can take the pants off Stephanie.
Whoa, did Hunter's plan involve having sex with Stephanie McMahon? Which means he's gotta have sex with Vince? Huh, now this is getting interesting.
Are you trying to tell me I'm gonna die someday?
Well,
Who the hell making tacos? We got luchadors visiting.
that's racist.
But it's almost like you never shut the hell up.
Christian Miracle's haters somehow made their way into my own video. I gotta double my security for this.
You're 8?
John Cena will be great at Cinema Sins 2 expansion. I'm just saying, how does an 8-year-old have a deep voice and full facial hair, even in cartoon world?
Do you think I could grow a beard at 8?
I was about to ask if he was talking to John Cena before realizing he is John Cena. Does being invisible give you abilities to see other invisible entities? I must know all the secrets. So, are we just gonna ignore Bray Wyatt over there? He's a victim of being a background extra? Sounds just like his WWE run. Fucking hell. The Bella Twins wasting very good popcorn. This episode has a weird food fetish. Main plot is someone being constipated, meanwhile everyone else is wasting good food by dropping it on the floor.
What's the V stand for? Virgin?
Hey, come on, don't be mean. It ain't easy being JD. Assault and battery is perfectly legal as long as you're beating the shit out of an unnamed character and you're the main characters.
Swans are dicks!
Well, that was random, and I fucking love it.
My daughter?
Oh, right.
Oh god, now Hunter's gonna forget all about wanting to date Stephanie and prefers to date Vince instead. You got issues, dude.
In your cartoon life, that
Mark Henry is apparently Deadpool because he recognizes that everyone is a cartoon. Also, Woody Bet Page asked if this was awkward to be around, but the Bella Twins said, "Don't worry, we're background extras. They can't even see us. We're practically John Cena clones."
And I can legally drive a golf cart and buy a knife.
Hunter somehow is still going through with this date. Stephanie attempted to open the door, maybe one of the only entertaining things about this.
Boo Bear!
Boo Bear.
Until I poisoned the lead. Then I was the lead.
Stephanie McMahon admits to murder, and Hunter doesn't raise a red flag on this.
I love that about you.
No, you don't.
We have so much in common.
No, you don't! Romantic flashbacks with a pinch of awkwardness added in. Is that Ruby Riott in the background on the right? You mean to tell me that WWE created Ruby Riott on their Camp WWE show a full 7 months before she actually signed a contract with the company? Why is everyone following this act?
He's the McMahon of your dreams.
How the fuck did Stephanie McMahon even know where to find these assholes?
Steph.
Oh, you couldn't be entertaining in this episode, so now you try to imitate me when I was starting all over the place in the previous episode? Oh, it is on now, boy.
I need time.
I'll tell you what I need to get the hell out of here. An old school alarm clock somehow came with a fully functioning sound system that can play Fandango's theme music.
Who knew there were so many shades of beige?
Sounds like some nifty shades of beige if you ask me. Wonder if anyone knows what show I just referenced. Probably Sting's revenge for you ruining his short WWE run in 2015.
Scorpions! Austin!
I'm actually surprised that Vince McMahon yelled for Stone Cold Steve Austin and Sting didn't once appear in his mind. How the hell did Steve Austin manage to get a bear to cooperate and wait for the one-off chance that Vince was going to sit in a bear seat? Damn, I want to know how Vince managed to get out of being flushed down his jacuzzi before the camera cut away.
Hey, buddy!
Who the hell is John Cena talking to, little Jimmy? No! Even in animated form, it's so awesome to see Steve Austin spray Vince McMahon with alcohol. Let's take a sin off. Something tells me that Kevin Nash is promoting this dance based on the Quad advertisement. No doubt animated CM Punk is pissed off that only Camp WWE gets ice cream bars. Probably shouldn't have left the camp, kid.
I created war.
Bray Wyatt is a win, and to hear him recite the same lines he spoke in 2013 when the Wyatt family first debuted reminded me of how epic that was.
You can't just quit because a camper pulls pranks on you!
And you also can't steal whoever's Money in the Bank briefcase that is. Wait, where's my briefcase? I swear it was just... Vince!
Like a scorpion latte. I was attacked by a bear.
What about the hot tub flushing? How you escaped that remains unclear.
He's your responsibility.
Vince McMahon foreshadowing his own retirement on an animated show. Damn, who would have thought?
To wherever astronauts hang out.
The vehicle somehow didn't gain flying abilities and soared to the space station above Earth.
What?
My only assumption is Steve Austin gained teleporting abilities from drinking that alcohol made by The Undertaker's bomb.
I just noticed you have fleas in them.
Knowing Bray Wyatt, he probably also has pigs, witches, buzzards, and... Okay, I'm rambling.
Vincent McMahon has quit.
And so a lot of campers who used to be here will be brought back over the next few days after Vince let them go, even though there was more than enough space.
I was gonna talk to you about like a promotion.
Triple H wants to be the head of camp activities, apparently. Not gonna lie, I would love to see a spin-off of Camp WWE starring Triple H as the head of the camp.
I am ignoring.
Once again, the most annoying thing about Camp WWE, next to my application for the camp getting rejected when I was a kid, fuck you for that, is the Big Show being an absolute dumbass to the point where even Patrick Starr would say something's wrong with him. Patrick fucking Starr. Don't worry, Nikki, COVID-19 doesn't exist in Bray Wyatt's world. There's a fucking dolphin in Bray Wyatt's drawer? Child face humping.
Start telling me to go to hell!
Honestly, if Steve Austin is getting pissed off at everyone ignoring his pranks, then why doesn't he simply kick someone below the belt? No matter how much anyone would try, it's impossible to ignore that.
Hey buddy, are you trying to cop a feel?
Yes, I was.
Well, at least he's being honest. Maybe that's why Stephanie McMahon ultimately chose Hunter in the end. While it's also disgusting, you gotta admit it's impressive that Bray Wyatt can command a group of rats to stand side by side when he confronts someone. Greatest horror character ever.
No!
How Vince escaped that is not important. Technically, wouldn't fire cause the blow-up dragon to pop? Also, we're practically playing the story of Joker suffering when Batman is no longer around. Steve needs Vince to torment, otherwise he's not the same person everyone loves him for.
Did you go to the moon today?
I'll give this show props because I wasn't even paying attention to Steve Austin in the top right corner watching Vince and his new son who was apparently not Hornswoggle. Also, Vince has only been gone from Camp WWE for like a day, and yet he's somehow got a new home, a new family, and went into space at the same time. 3-minute montage of Vince enjoying life outside of Camp WWE, and it's shockingly boring me. Anything that doesn't take place at Camp WWE just ain't worth watching if you ask me.
What brings you to my little corner of paradise?
A better question would be how the fuck Steve Austin knew exactly where Vince McMahon lived after he chose to find him. After all, Vince moved to a new place completely.
Steven.
Referring to Steve Austin as Steven just feels wrong. This bar allows underage drinking.
Put the universe back in balance.
Hold on a second. He's bald. He wants to put the universe back into balance, and when you get angry, sometimes your skin turns purple. Holy fuck, Steve Austin is Thanos! Run!
Is you don't talk about an all-child bike club.
But you literally just criticized Vince for keeping that very thing a secret. What the hell even is this episode?
Oh, Cena?
Since when would John Cena be in cahoots at Bray Wyatt? Here's the hoping The Undertaker is wearing a cup this time in case The Rock decides to kick another kickball right into his dead men.
Cena, beer me!
Cena, mouthguard me.
Since when did John Cena get promoted to errand boy in Camp WWE? And why are they more interested in things happening off screen? Also, couldn't John toss the beer to Steve Austin while he handed over Big Show's mouthguard?
Cena, beer me!
On my way,
Couldn't John just say, hold the fuck up, I can only do one thing at a time? Big Show and Steve Austin keep demanding that John do a chore for them first, but remain silent so that The Undertaker can get his shade. Kicking a ball requires a mouthguard, apparently. Couldn't Big Show just kick the ball, run to first base, and then John Cena hands over his mouthguard? Why are the cool things happening off screen all the time? Cena, show the cameras what you're doing. Oh, great, now I'm giving him demands.
Sergeant Slaughter asked me to file his taxes.
Sergeant Slaughter can't file his own taxes. Who is he, Donald Trump?
Just give me my damn sandwich.
Sandwich.
I'm allergic to peanuts.
Because of how much stress he's been going through, I guarantee John Cena served the allergic R-Truth peanut butter on purpose so that he could kill him. After all, John did shave off The Rock's eyebrow once.
Cena, will you read me a story?
You're already reading a story, motherfucker.
Good night.
Oh, Wonderstar.
You do realize everyone is still awake, right, John? They said goodnight like 2 seconds ago.
I like the army, the force be with you. Peace, bond, namaste.
What the fuck? This wishing star ends up giving John Cena a hallucination in the form of his own clone. Does the wishing star lend LSD or something? John Cena doesn't immediately scream and run out of the room upon seeing another version of himself. I'm surprised Cena 2 didn't immediately scream and run out of the room when Cena 1 had scary intentions to fuck him.
No one gives
gives a shit?
I had an entire list of sins dedicated to nobody not realizing or caring that there are 2 John Cenas in the room, and then the episode reveals that only Cena 1 can see Cena 2. That's ironic. So thank you, Camp WWE, for making me go through a whole list and then deleting all that hard-earned work.
Holy Sheik!
The actual Iron Sheik didn't show up to trash Hulk Hogan like he does in his tweets. Also, if nobody but Cena 1 can see Cena 2, then how do you explain everything Cena 2 does over the course of a day? None of this is a dream.
Your shoes are untied!
The subplot of this is Big Show can't tie his shoes, so how do you explain his shoes being tied in the first season? Also, because of how helpful he is, why didn't Cena 2 just teach Big Show how to— oh, wait, that's right. Oh, come on! Cut back to Ric Flair helping out with a fire! That shit was actually entertaining!
Let's all point at him, too!
Encouraging bullying. Fuck you.
I'll just,
Yep, Camp WWE managed to put in a reference to the long dead and his name is John Cena meme of their show. Keep in mind, this season released in 2018. Also, Cena 2 literally swallowed the entire pool of water but remains the same size. At least SpongeBob SquarePants conveniently transformed when he did that. If nobody can see Cena 2, then how do you explain this log flume ride? You mean to tell me Vince McMahon was inside the room recording Big Show this entire time? You got issues, dude. Why won't you show me any of the interesting stuff on screen? Also, Cena 1's chores involved helping a horse give birth? I get that Cena 1 wanted to do something productive, but that's someone's ashes, you dick. And why would The Undertaker leave his grandparents' ashes out in the open?
I think you should go. I can't go back there.
Cena 1 asks Cena 2 to leave, Cena 2 declines and says that's not how it works. But later on, when Cena 1 asks him to leave again with practically the same words, Cena 2 agrees?
I got my partner, all right.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy being impressed that Sergeant Slaughter could do all those one-arm pull-ups without telling a story.
Big Show is gonna tell everyone that I can't tie my shoes.
Person who bullied someone for not being able to tie their shoes secretly can't tie their own. Cliche. Also, disturbing Game of Thrones poster with Vince on the cover.
I'm gonna have to kill him.
Or you can make Big Show sign an NDA. Oops.
Everyone ties the knot.
Person tries to take his mind off something bothering him by watching TV, and every channel references his problem, making it worse. Cliche. How the fuck did Big Show get into Vince's cabin undetected? Did he crawl through the door at the lower entrance? You know, the one that suspiciously views Vince's crotch to anyone who looks?
What are we doing at the airport?
Better question, how the fuck was a golf cart able to take us to the airport without dying? Those things can't exactly travel far. Also, Camp WWE has a golf course? How come we never seen it?
You got me a middle row seat.
Why am I the only one asking these questions? How did Cena 1 manage to get the money to buy a plane ticket for Cena 2?
Be bad.
John Cena teasing the fans about turning heel even though he's no longer a full-time wrestler. Now he's doing it in animated shows. Also, how the fuck did Cena 1 manage to grow a 5 o'clock shadow from being bad? Body ash cocaine.
I have an irrational fear of cucumbers.
Actually, that would be The Undertaker.
Did I win?
Vince McMahon is the fucking highlight of Camp WWE. I guarantee he had the time of his life recording these lines. Even though this go back to first grade plan didn't work, I'm more concerned that the school allowed Big Show to be nearly shirtless in class. Or is this one of the schools that just doesn't give a shit?
The Rock does not understand.
Amongst all the children, The Rock shouts out that he doesn't understand what's going on. Either that or he doesn't understand how he's no longer a care in the entire camp like in the second episode.
Oh, help has arrived.
If nobody can see Cena 2, then how did Steve Austin get a band-aid on his head? And why does he never question it? After the big reveal that Cena 2 never existed and Cena 1 is just going insane, how does anyone take him seriously again? Cena 2 is addicted to Cena's 1s over and over and over. Also, skip!
And form 2 loops.
Vince's laces are already tied by the time Cena 1 got to the loops part.
You're fired.
Vince fires Triple H, who remains in the camp for the remainder of the series anyway. Apparently in this world, several wrestlers are children, Triple H is a teenager, and Sheamus apparently has his own lotion company, which sounds far more entertaining than what we are watching right now.
There was one guy, he asked if I'd be willing to dress up like a train conductor.
Whoever the hell that guy was who asked Big Show to dress up like a train conductor frighteningly sounds far more entertaining than what we are watching right now. Why the hell does Camp WWE keep away all the entertaining things?
It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's a bird, it's a plane, no it's none of those things, cliche.
Quadruple H!
Quadruple H. This has me wondering if Triple H's future grandson, Single H, will be the last of the H family before it perishes and becomes non-existent. Jeez, this just got dark. Also, I'll finally say it. Triple H adding, to every one of his sentences is the most annoying thing about this entire show. Aw, damn it, now I'm saying it, Quadruple H rides in a TIE fighter, apparently. Okay, but how is Quadruple H supposed to get back home now? Does he actually believe Vince McMahon will lend him a ride?
How many more darts do you plan on nailing?
John Cena just sits around and takes the beatings. I guess after all the chaos he went through with his alternate clone, John no longer gives a shit about Camp WWE. Hey, feelings mutual. The Ultimate Warrior is a discount Batman in this series. Also, how can any of these kids see a symbol in the sky when it's so bright and sunny outside today?
Ultimate Warrior is the most powerful force ever.
Judging by all the darts lodged in your back, I'd actually say you are the most powerful force ever. Even Warrior would be jealous.
Had to relocate deep into the woods.
And by deep into the woods, we mean he's actually in a shack that's practically next door to the entire camp, especially judging by how close his logo was from the ground. I don't like saying this, but I think Steve Austin has a sexual attraction toward John Cena. He's grabbing his Cenas in this scene, he was humping John's face in a previous episode, and once forced John to snuggle naked with him in a tent.
I know for a fact Austin only shits in the woods.
That totally doesn't sound perverted at all. Steve Austin complains about Sergeant Slaughter stealing his beer when he's got an entire fucking beer truck at his disposal.
How I just single-handedly stabilized the architecture.
The Ultimate Warrior had his cabin set up like this just on the one case that a random camper would turn up, and conveniently a camper that was searching for him anyway. This literally could have happened on a random hitchhiker who was passing by while searching for a secret place to masturbate. I assume. This sequence doesn't really add up. Warrior is running at the right pace when he appears from one side of the cabin to the other. Meanwhile, Steve Austin literally teleports from one side to the other in less than a split second. Also, running around a cabin is somehow going to help Steve Austin, who just wants to play loud music and drink beer.
It's me!
Vince McMahon had an entire Royal Rumble countdown clock ready to go, but neglected the most important thing about the countdown clock. The freaking buzzer! Wouldn't be the first time Vince crashed and burned as a result of running at the Royal Rumble.
I was so good at 9th grade, I took it twice.
Probably because you failed it the first time.
I could build a Lego Hogwarts with limited instructions.
Sorry, Quadruple H, but Vince McMahon wins this time around because no matter how many PhDs you got, nothing, and I repeat, nothing, can match up to building a Lego Hogwarts set with limited instructions.
How long will you be staying?
1,219.
Fucks I don't give about the number of minutes you're staying. Just say, until likely tomorrow, and move on. Neither Steve Austin nor the Ultimate Warrior are in sync with the music, and how did Warrior know that Steve could play the guitar? Embracing of the spirit of the Ultimate Warrior apparently requires you to play Connect 4. What in the hell am I watching? Driving your motorcycle on the camera is the weirdest fourth wall break outside of the finale of She-Hulk. Couldn't Sergeant Slaughter have just broke out of the outhouse by kicking the walls that aren't blocked by the beer truck? Why the digging? That just might be the only funny joke about this episode. Why isn't the rest of Camp WWE funny anymore? That's strange. Where's Dean Ambrose? Did he already leave Camp WWE and join up with the newly created Camp AEW? That was fast. Not gonna lie, I'd say shooting an arrow so far away to the point where it breaks into Ric Flair's house and destroys his blow-up doll was far more impressive than shooting an arrow at a measly target. Vince wins this game. When did Quadruple H have time to put a blindfold on during the middle of the damn ping pong game? Stephanie McMahon survives this.
Ping pong, chicken, and dodgeball, but
Vince McMahon declares that Quadruple H also won a game of dodgeball. Conveniently, the one game that could have been entertaining to watch and we missed it? Rip off.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Sorry that I had to climb to the top of a bunk to have this conversation, apparently. Big Show was probably hanging out in this bunk because they had nothing to do for him aside from the start of the episode. Thank God Hunter didn't literally say suck it, otherwise he'd be saying, yeah, suck it, But still, I don't care enough. Skip! Sergeant Slaughter had enough strength to push himself through the floorboards, but somehow couldn't do the same thing on the wall of the outhouse he was trapped in. Also, even though he could literally just get out of the hole and run toward Warrior's cabin, Slaughter still decides to dig for unnecessary dramatic reveals.
I ain't feeling too good.
Warrior is an asshole. That's an understatement.
this is my favorite.
Goldust is as interested in this video as I am doing a video on this episode. Man, we really have a lot in common.
Daddy, that's Africa.
Stephanie was crying and scared about Hunter leaving, but has enough patience for Vince to mess around with his globe.
The warrior made a promise.
All of a sudden, you got rules.
Steve Austin would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. Warrior hasn't kicked Slaughter's ass for destroying his floorboards. I don't know if Vince is surprised that Hunter gave him a hug, or the fact that Vince managed to conveniently find Hunter at this random location. In In one single shot, we went from barely being able to hear the Bella Twins music to clearly hearing it, and if the music was coming from the alarm clock, we shouldn't be able to hear a difference. Also, WWE bringing the Nikki Bella has Brie Bella as her personal slave storyline from 2014 into this animated series. It was horrible in live action, and now in animation. Honestly, if Nikki wasn't waking up, couldn't Brie just remove the earmuffs and blindfold and just shake her awake?
What's on?
Brie Bella has no reaction to literally getting stepped on, not even when Nikki steps on her eyes. Brie Bella survived that. Also attempted murder. Brie Bella survived that. Okay, what was the point of turning the music back on? Whoops, looks like Dean Ambrose is actually still here. Guess Camp AEW didn't open its doors yet when he tried to leave.
Pass me that banana.
Ric Flair cannot reach over with his arm whatsoever. He just might be more lazy than Nikki Bella if you ask me.
You're the one who burst in here hollering.
You're the one who tried to murder your own sister and made her cough up her heart. Or whatever the hell that was.
Cena!
Hey, Truth!
John Cena started talking while he was still submerged underwater. What kind of psycho powers does he have? I cannot believe I'd ever say this sentence on a WWE Sins video. The entire existence of children getting sucked off in the pool. Believe me, I've actually put my crotch in a pool just before, but at least I was 25, not 8.
Alright, you got 3 seconds to get off that jet.
Hey look, maybe for once we are going to have an episode where Big Show is actually doing something interesting. Never mind.
I once asked her what impossible meant and she said lasers.
You mean to tell me that the word impossible doesn't mean lasers? Long neck Josh, you lied to me! Where are you little bastard? Brie Bella has had enough of Nikki Bella's abuse, so naturally the thing that turns her life around is bonding with a random horse. Yep, this episode has officially given up.
Where are you from? Arizona?
Brie Bella speaks horse, apparently.
I like the taste of cardboard too.
What are the odds that Brie discovers she loves the taste of cardboard due to Nikki forcing her to eat it one time?
I was just practicing what I'm gonna say the first time I misplaced my baby.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, that is the ugliest dog ever.
Nikki Bella can't tell the difference between a dog and a... Oh, wait, she thought impossible meant lasers. I forgot.
I know how to ride a horse.
You didn't even know what a horse was. Nikki Bella survived that.
Oh, I tricked my legs and shit my pants.
Vince McMahon is once again the ultimate highlight of Camp WWE.
Like Michael Bay movies. You can't turn them off and they suck.
Vince McMahon would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion.
I once lost 3 fillies at a Hilton in Greensboro.
Ric Flair always telling us stories of things that sound far more entertaining than what we are watching right now. I want to see these deleted episodes so badly. About a minute of Sergeant Slaughter trying to move his vehicle out of the area without hitting anything. And why couldn't he have just parked a little to the left, assuming he drove through when he arrived?
I've never seen Free Willy.
What kind of human being are you? No human being on this entire planet who didn't die prior to 1993 has never seen Free Willy. I once seen that movie on this goddamn channel, and it was stupid. Honestly, if this entire episode was a 2-hour broadcast of animated Triple H and Vince McMahon watching Free Willy, it would no doubt be the most entertaining piece of art in animated history. Lion King can kiss my sexy ass. Oh, I get it. Blackjack is basically the Private Pile character from Full Metal Jacket. Oh god, does this mean he will shoot Sergeant Slaughter and then himself? Boy, that was a sad scene from a legendary war classic. This horse was happily running toward Brie Bella, then chose to go back to the wall before running again. Brie Bella survived that.
To protect and serve.
Damn it, now I want to see a spin-off series involving these war horses, and yet we will never get one of those.
Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Sergeant Slaughter just stands there and lets this happen.
My balls are sore as hell.
Ow, oh.
Ric Flair is also one of the best highlights of Camp WWE. Horrible person wants nothing to do with their friend/sibling and instantly has a change of heart because they missed him cliche.
They should be chasing Mia!
Who the hell is Mia? There was no way in hell that the horse could fit inside that tiny bush, at least not enough to be hidden from sight. While attempting to run away from the 4 horsemen, all Brie Bella ended up doing was take Blackjack back to Sergeant Slaughter's camp. What an idiot. Blackjack survived that. No joke, I would have probably taken off at least 10 sins if this whole thing ended with Blackjack falling to his death. I was actually laughing really hard, then groaned in frustration when I realized he survived. One would think that Paige is dead since The Undertaker literally sawed her in half, but no worries, she survived that. And even for an animated show, Paige survived getting sawed in half.
What do you mean, trick?
It took The Undertaker literally until the second to last episode before he really started becoming The Undertaker.
What's up? What's up?
Shouldn't R-Truth's voice be getting quieter since he's moving the microphone further away from his face at times? Sasha Banks says, I am really tempted to walk out of Camp WWE because I'm being used as a DJ and not my full potential in the talent show phase. And in this case, I actually wouldn't blame her. What the hell? Also, Sasha Banks has never been seen in Camp WWE up until right now, and the one thing WWE uses her for is a DJ cameo who looks bored out of her mind. John Cena was completely kissing R-Truth's ass during his performance, yet he also was amongst the campers who ran out of the cabin the moment R-Truth thanked them all. What a dick.
This is Vince McMahon. I don't give a shit if I never speak to you again.
If this series was just Vince McMahon saying funny lines like this, it would have been renewed for 15 additional seasons, and I would be loving it.
Trick Austin into believing Texas has been sold to China.
Vince McMahon reading through storyline ideas to sound far more entertaining than what we are watching right now. What a shock.
Wait, what?
Vince is shocked that he's scheduled to be assassinated despite the fact that he literally circled the date on the calendar.
Who would want to kill me?
Internet virgins. Vince is pressing the same number over and over.
The number you have reached has been disconnected.
Stephanie McMahon runs the assassination company, apparently. Is she planning on taking over as the CEO of Camp WWE or something? Nah, that'd be ridiculous. Right? Either John Cena is the strongest kid in the world to be able to bust through that cabin wall, or that cabin wall is the weakest in the world, which makes me wonder why it hasn't collapsed by now.
Yeah. 13 inches.
The record company actually asked the size of a child's penis. I would hang up the phone right now and call the police. R-Truth went from standing at the front door in one shot to suddenly standing in the middle of the room past the wall John Cena destroyed in the next shot. Why use a record deal when you got teleportation powers? After we've seen Ric Flair on practically every episode, this dramatic entrance was very unnecessary. It'd be cool if this was the first time we see him on the show ever, but not 9 episodes in.
Screw you, Camp WWE.
Which means that everything that takes place with R-Truth outside of Camp WWE isn't going to be fun because nothing outside of the actual camp has been entertaining so far.
You cannot eliminate what you cannot find.
Vince McMahon didn't once think to use the Hell in a Cell lockdown procedure in order to keep out the unknown assassin. You know, the thing he did in the very first episode to prevent John Cena from going home. Sucks that he forgot all about that.
Is it weird? This very thin branch can hold both of...
Cartoon logic shuts down the moment a character starts to question a cliche.
No one will ever find me in the girls' cabin.
Well, I mean, unless the assassin is a female.
Oops.
I knew girls farted.
Gosh darn it, Vince McMahon is endlessly entertaining in this series. I fucking love it. He actually made a fart joke funny. That's nearly impossible to do. Missed opportunity to have a Rob Van Dam cameo during the sequence of Vince getting high with Sergeant Slaughter.
We're gonna buy a house made of water.
Show me that!
You've got a sold-out show in Hollywood in 20 minutes.
Well, then R-Truth is definitely missing out on the concert because if they're not even in Hollywood, how is he supposed to make it there in less than 20? They don't care, do they?
I just want to thank all my fans.
You know, I honestly would have removed another 5 sins if everyone in attendance actually left the moment R-Truth accepted the award, even Ric Flair.
Most of this show takes place at the camp.
R-Truth has fourth wall breaking abilities.
Can you be Vince McMahon?
Footage of Vince McMahon trying to get Triple H to take over head of creative in WWE made its way into this animated series.
Whoa! One girl tried ripping my shirt off.
And a dolphin, apparently, too.
What else is up? What else is up?
Musician becomes famous off one single hit and then reveals themselves to be a fraud, which ends their career cliche. John Cena's mouth went from clenched open to completely closed with no change in the sound of his straining.
Who says I love you one day and beat it the next?
The WWE Universe, when their favorites win the top championship of the company. Happens every time. It somehow took Ric Flair and R-Truth doing the make it rain move before they realized they didn't have any money. This is a sad image. We got Bray Wyatt over there, who was prominent in episode 5 but then ultimately forgotten. The Rock, who was prominent in episode 2 but then ultimately forgotten. And Roman Reigns, who was always forgotten. Also, how the fuck is Paige still alive and sewn back together?
Vince McMahon?
Even Steve Austin of all campers wouldn't be able to fall for the obvious Triple H pretending to be Vince McMahon trick, right? And yet he does anyway. Not Vince McMahon turns in the direction of the assassin and somehow doesn't see him. Determined character jumps in the air in a dramatic rescue fashion, only to fall a distance away from the target in danger cliche.
Whoa!
What?! Triple H did see the assassin when he was looking directly at him earlier, but sees him when his back is completely turned away? I call bullshit.
Live by the sword.
If I were the assassin, I wouldn't be worried about the Undertaker killing me with a saw. After all, Paige survived it easily.
From from the Ministry of Darkness.
The Undertaker hints at a much more entertaining series finale, but we don't get any of that, sadly.
The Undertaker!
Haha, your voice cracked! After hearing that boring ghost story, I bet Paige wished she actually stayed dead after getting sawed in half in the previous episode.
To hell with all of you!
The Undertaker suddenly flies away and nobody questions it. If anything, he could have used that to help himself out with his scary stories.
What'd she do that was so scary?
I woke up and she was still there.
That's weird, but you gotta admit, for people who enjoy doing one-night stands, that's actually a scary thing to think about.
I'm not allowed to reveal that information.
Wait a minute, does this mean Vince McMahon made people sign NDAs because Vince himself is under NDAs? Holy shit, this is a scary story! Dun dun dun!
They discovered the owner had been well.
I'm trying to pay attention to Vince's scary story about the haunting, but I can't help but feel irritated that those marshmallows are being wasted on the ground. 5-second rule.
Covered in blood and guts.
You must have walked into Camp AEW's property if that's the case. Sounds less like a scary story and more of an accidental misdirection.
No!
Vince McMahon survived that. Also, I won't lie, if this series finale was the ghosts actually killing off the campers one by one, starting with Vince himself, this probably would be more entertaining to watch. Vince McMahon criticized the campers for being out of bed after curfew, yet has no problem with John Cena and Nikki Bella doing just that. And why would they be writing newsletters past midnight?
I can't publish photos of Stephanie undressing.
Why not, actually? People may actually read those stories if that were the case.
I could never do anything to disappoint Mr. McMahon.
Even when you tried to run away from the camp on the very first episode, or when you shaved out The Rock's eyebrow, forced Mark Henry to get constipated, did heel tactics with the campers out of jealousy with Cena too, stuffed your crotch in the pool jets, and destroyed the cabin walls of the boys' bedroom? Person who tells haunted story but doesn't believe in it ends up experiencing the haunting himself cliche. It's one of those storylines again.
Developmental neurobiology.
Skip! More and more child abuse. This house is full of light all the time, but Vince conveniently walks in the dark at the one time he's afraid of a ghost haunting him. Goldust survived that. This entire sequence of a moose meowing like a cat. I bet Vince is more confused than he is scared. Goldust survived that. Since when did getting punched in the face cause Goldust to become a squeaky toy? Goldust was literally on the ground of Vince's living room, but somehow went into the closet before Vince was even in the bedroom? The fuck? Goldust survived that. I'm starting to think Vince is just doing this on purpose at this point. Paul Bearer is Vince McMahon's bartender, apparently. Also, shouldn't Paul be the father of The Undertaker if that's his deal in the WWE storylines? Why has this never been thought of even now? Let's just be thankful The Undertaker decided to conveniently sit in this one position to read his book when the naked R-Truth came into the room to complain about having no towel.
Where's my towel? What?
What chance? Vince McMahon started talking to the obvious Paul Bearer therapist and didn't once figure out that Paul was the therapist by the chair being turned away as well as his high-pitched voice.
Oh, I also meant to ask, what is that music you're playing?
Vince McMahon is scared of Paul Bearer, except when he's curious about music, apparently. This image repeats itself over and over with every ransacked building Nikki Bella shows John Cena. Vince McMahon survives this.
You don't need to know where I am.
John Cena somehow hasn't figured out that the obvious Sergeant Slaughter voice belonged to Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter conveniently moved out of sight when John Cena turned in his direction, but was in view when John had his back turned. And shouldn't it be more difficult for John to hear Slaughter's voice given the direction Slaughter is talking? John Cena running toward Vince's cabin required flashbacks to previous episodes just to show that this is the series finale.
Goldust!
Oh, looks like Goldust didn't survive this. Whoops, my mistake. I will just take a sin away as an apology.
That could mean...
Camp WWE literally ends with everyone dying while Steve Austin enjoys life. I guarantee the writers got too lazy and didn't give a shit about the show anymore. Well, I'm just gonna end this series with 1,000 sins. After 6 years, I finally finished the Camp WWE sins. Goodbye, everyone. That's a wrap.